Hey, we're live. This Life in Tech, episode 92. I'm Jason.
And I'm Dan. Tired.
Yeah, man. You need to do some jumping jacks.
Well, I ain't about the jumping jacks right now. It's just like no real energy for anything. Doing nothing but juicing this weekend, trying to get my body reset.
You mean juicing, not juicing.
Dude, I can't get. The only needles I have around me are the ones that are from the tattoos. Like that doesn't bother me. Getting like my blood drawn or a shot or something, like nope, forget it. I'd rather you cut me.
Oh, you're not. You have a needle problem?
Yeah, I don't. I thought acupuncture and like tattoos would wind up getting me over that. Nope, completely different.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's completely different.
I don't know why. You would think it wouldn't be, but
Well, I mean the needles are different sizes. They go to different depths through your tissue.
yeah, I guess I don't know. But yeah, so no, yeah, doing like a basically trying to reset my body just from all of the continuous stress. So a little biohacking will be the first time. Speaking of that, I've yet to set up my new device that I got from Focus.
Oh yeah.
Doing it has a little bit more than just the transcranial direct current stimulation going on. I should probably get that stuff set up.
Oh man, there's a group. Just made me think of this, man. There's a group working on a bi-directional system so that it uses like the stuff Grima and I have for reading EEG.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that as input to a system, and then it uses transcranial stimulation for output, so that it's actually inserting the output into your mind.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's very limited. In fact, Grima and I are submitting what the National Science Foundation (NSF) calls their big ideas. It's like a 10-year idea, and so we're gonna submit something. I mean, it's a huge grant that uses that bi-directional, let's call it a brain machine interface. It's pretty cool shit, man.
Right on. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm done traveling for a little while, I think. Got to stay around here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been just burning both ends of the candle.
When do you start winterizing the home?
Well, first off, I don't do any winterizing. I pay someone to do it. And probably when we know it's going to start being below freezing for a while.
Yeah.
So maybe I think people probably start right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
About a month.
Well, I told you I went to Florida for a quick trip, and man, it was 90 plus there. And this is right after this last hurricane. And I came back to Winston-Salem, and it's been 60 or below every day. I mean, at night it gets down to mid 40s.
Yeah.
So I was going to probably wait till around Thanksgiving and then take this guy out.
The air conditioner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably won't need the air conditioner, but
I don't need it now. I mean, the big reason I could leave it there and just seal the outside. The big reason I want it out is so I can put the screen back in and actually open the window and get some fresh air.
Yeah, sure. Because it was snowing here a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
It was snowing in Maryland, Western Maryland. It was snowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am not ready for snow. I hate snow. Hate it. So anyone out there listening, if you have a CIO position now somewhere down south, you might get me cheap when during the snow season here. Just saying.
Get you cheap, man.
Yeah, you get me cheap when it starts snowing. It's like, hey, everyone wants to buy brand new cars and stuff in the spring. Nope.
Winter, man.
That's when you buy the new car. Well, same thing. Hey, that might be an opportunity to get all of a sudden there's 10 feet of snow on the ground. I'm like, I'm done.
Oh, man.
I haven't had 10 feet yet, but it feels like it.
We'll get a little bit here, man, but we won't get like feet. I don't even know if you really get inches. It's more of like a dusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just enough to collect on the ground.
Basically, that's about it. You ain't going to get much.
Yeah. So, man, Do you want to start with? I don't know how much you want to talk. I don't care about John Jones anymore.
Who?
John, yeah, exactly. John Jones. Well, and for the record, I stopped caring about him not because of his personal issues, but because he just doesn't fight because of his personal issues.
That's part of it. I would say he's going to go down as the biggest what if and probably MMA history. I mean, the man had and still has so much talent that he probably could have fought also at heavyweight, because I mean he's got good ground game.
He easily could have been the first double champ. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
I don't know that he could have gone down a weight class, but
no.
I think he could have gone up to heavyweight. I mean, he's quick. He can fight off his back. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good.
Well, he's big.
Yeah.
He had a few, like, just let's call them exhibition fights at heavyweight, didn't he? If I remember right.
I don't know. I don't remember. But I mean, he's a big light heavyweight. I mean, he's tall. He's long.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, before his last personal screw up, he had gone through that whole powerlifting routine and put on a lot of mass.
Yeah, and remember, DC he's no joke.
No.
And John Jones has made him look a fool.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't argue that at all. I think John Jones, had he stayed on like a productive course, easily, I don't think anybody could stop him at light or heavy.
No. And he just completely messed up. So for me, I mean, that might be a fight I might watch if I'm not doing anything else that night. Go to the bar, drink a couple beers, but I'm not paying for it.
No, I'll watch the highlights the next day or that night. Well, probably the next day, because, man, I'll tell you what, dude, that's a big adjustment. Watching them at 9 o'clock versus midnight when they start.
Oh, yeah, I bet. And here's the other thing. McGregor losing doesn't do anything for me. I mean, like, I would still watch a McGregor fight, no problem.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, because you're going to get entertained. Yeah. One way or the other.
Yeah, and, I don't think I still just don't go that McGregor, he didn't look right.
I've heard some rumors, man, that like he popped a rib back in the room warming up. I've heard different shit. Who knows, man? Who knows what's true?
He's never said anything, and he wouldn't make an excuse.
No.
So
his head coach, John Kavanaugh, went on Joe Rogan's podcast like that next Monday.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it. I've watched most of it. There was really interesting background on what they were preparing for and what he thought went wrong.
Well, that's the thing. And people can say whatever they want about the fight. What's his name? Nurmagomedov is not going to stand up with McGregor for very long. He tried. He got lucky. He didn't knock him out. Meaning Nurmagomedov to McGregor. He got lucky. He threw a punch. He got hit. It happens. But take a look at everyone else. Nurmagomedov gets you down or gets a hold of you, you go down. McGregor's defense was tremendously better. If he had that kind of defense against Nate Diaz, Nate doesn't make it out of any of the there wouldn't have been a second fight.
Well, and so, and you and I talked about this. The result of just the style matchup shouldn't surprise anybody. And, to me, that's what's really interesting about MMA, how it's changed the concept of what a fight is. Like when you and I were kids, like the first fist fight I ever got into in junior high, there was no concept of grappling. Even though people were aware that like judo, and obviously I wrestled in high school and junior high, existed, it wasn't viewed as like an honest tactic. And in fact, the first fist fight I got in, I took the dude down and rear naked, choked him out, unconscious. And of course, the story wasn't that I took this dude and ragdolled him and choked him out, right? I mean, you could kill somebody easily that way. It was, oh, you're a pussy because you didn't actually like throw a punch. Why do you want to break your hand? You stupid? That was my attitude.
These hands are worth a lot of money.
I got important things to do with these hands.
Yeah.
Punching people in the face ain't one of them.
No, definitely not. So,
but that whole cultural shift, right? I mean, I'm guessing it was kind of the same for you in junior high and high school.
Yeah. And now we've got today where people like in MMA, they just take you down. I mean, that's not an exciting fight to me. Now to watch someone do jiu-jitsu, now that's exciting. There's something there, but just to get down there, basically lay on them and punch them, that's boring. There's no art to that.
Well, but I think that's why you need somebody like Khabib that's savage.
Maybe, but he just doesn't excite me. He still pulls out of more fights than he seems to show up with.
That is true.
Like, I don't think he's gonna. So even though they're trying to, I don't think the Tony Ferguson fight's going to happen. He'll wind up fighting McGregor again. He can say whatever he wants. The UFC knows another McGregor fight is bigger money than Tony Ferguson and Khabib. So I think they fight again sooner rather than later. What was the turnaround between the second Diaz fight?
Oh, dude,
6 months.
Yeah, man, it wasn't very long.
Yeah, so I think those cats fight like in January.
It's possible, man. A New Year's Eve card, even. I know, because I don't think they've announced that, have they? The New Year's Eve card?
But that might be too soon for the New Year's Eve one.
Well, here's the wild card. Their medical suspensions would be cleared, but they're both still suspended by the Athletic Commission.
Well, right now I thought they only had a week because the Athletic Commission hasn't met yet, and that's only in Nevada.
Yeah, man, but unless you go overseas, there's not a single state that will
great
buck.
Time to go. This could be like the Irish Rocky, and all of a sudden they're fighting in Russia.
Yeah. Right.
McGregor comes into Russia.
Or do it in neutral territory. Send them both to Brazil. But yeah, man, the John Jones thing, I'll watch the highlights. Daniel Cormier versus Derek Lewis. I want to listen to Derek Lewis's interviews after the fact, no matter what happens, because that's the entertaining part.
I'm surprised he didn't propose to what's her name again?
Oh yeah.
Ronda Rousey. He loves Ronda Rousey. Yeah. That cat is funny.
Yeah, man. So, maybe that's an interesting segue, because you take somebody like that clearly has a personality, and they have a particular kind of wit, which I personally enjoy. I'm sure not everybody does. Or you take somebody like Conor McGregor. How did you specifically develop your, let's say, public speaking persona? Because it is a persona. It's you, but it's a different you, isn't it?
I don't know if there's something like that. I mean, it's got to be authentic to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Because unless you're like a trained theologian, actor, to where you can kind of get out, I mean, it's got to be you. It's very similar, in this case, we're talking about, public speaking, not just out there for like a conference presentation, because you have to make it exciting. But even when you're trying to get the troops all together, so to speak, and for me, those that know me well know that I'm much more humble than what I appear in person, that I'm always questioning everything, and that's what drives me. But at work, I am much more confident when I'm in the moment, because I know that no matter what comes before the team, we will be able to succeed. And that confidence, many people will start to show as being arrogant. But that's just to those that I believe have a little bit of a weaker constitution about them. If they believe that, there's something inside them. But for those that didn't believe that we were going to get through it, and we were able to overcome, and we've had many different things, here at the bank that were extremely challenging that we overcame in a very short time period. But I do have to take on a little bit more of that persona of failure is not an option.
Yeah, right. Well, not a persona. I'll speak for myself. Whether it's teaching a class, presenting information, or talking in front of a big group of people, or even like we had a birthday party for my daughter yesterday, and there's people here that, dude, I couldn't even tell you their name because I didn't introduce myself to them. They didn't introduce themselves to me. There was just because of the nature of the party, right? It's all about the little kids. I don't feel like I play a character. You know what I mean? It's not like an actor. I'm not acting. But there's certain things, particularly like if I'm telling a story, that I might overemphasize. Things I just turn the dial up on, as a dimension of personality, maybe from an 8 to an 11 or something like that, right? That's what I mean by persona. Like Conor McGregor, that's really him. When he's talking shit and getting people riled up, I don't think that's not him. He's not an actor. He's not acting. But he's overemphasizing or hyperbolizing certain aspects of his own person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I kind of turn back on from an athletics standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
On the field, playing, any sport, doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to win. I mean, I don't, losing isn't even something that even enters my mind. And I go over extreme and do something to get in someone's head. I mean, it's no different than what McGregor's done. I mean, I don't have to go, about, like, for me, I'm not going to go after your religion or anything like that, like he does. I'm going to go after the weaknesses in your game. And I'm going to constantly remind you of those and that I know them.
Right.
And that you're not going to stop me from exploiting it. So that is a part of me. It's what I do even in work. In this case, though, I know what your weaknesses are, and I'm trying to figure out a way to put you in a position to succeed. So I'm not going to put you in and make you do something where your weaknesses are there. That would just be foolish as your manager, as your leader. That would just be foolish. That's not good leadership if I put you in a position where I know you're not going to win.
And the risk is high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind putting somebody in a position where I know they're going to fail if the outcome is that they're going to learn something out of it, and like nobody else is going to be harmed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, completely different. But for the most part, at this time, I mean, that's what you can do for more junior level people. When you start at senior level, them failing, it's well known.
Yeah, right. So do you think it was, particularly maybe because you played sports, and even being part of a team and being in a leadership position on the team is, I think, largely similar. Do you think it's a natural thing that you've honed through practice? Because I've never taken acting lessons, for instance. I've never taken, other than the required general education, public speaking, communications course in undergrad. I've never taken a course. I've never taken a course on how to teach.
Same, but now that you made me think, maybe I should start taking some acting classes.
I'll tell you what I've thought about, man, to be honest with you, especially the last year or so. Even like, because you can probably hear it a little bit right now, my voice is a little burned out. When I have these heavy semesters with lots of presentations and lots of classes, I've thought about taking voice lessons to help figure out how to better control my voice so that I don't burn it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling like that now, just from the travel, the conferences, things like that. I mean, being in Vegas for a couple of days where everything is loud and having to talk over everyone, it's rough.
Well, and all the air is super reconditioned, so it's dry.
God. It was so, I mean, even though the temperature was only like 70, 75, it was still so dry.
Yeah.
I felt like the water was just being sucked out of me.
It's actually one of the nice things of now moving back to the East Coast, man, is the humidity. I'm sure later on I'll feel differently, but for right now, it's actually like being remoisturized after being sucked dry in the desert for 20 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were there for over the summer, so there's a difference when it's 100 degrees in North Carolina versus 100 degrees in California.
Yeah. Well, and the difference is in California, it's like being under a hairdryer.
Yeah.
And here, it's like being in a sauna.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather be in a sauna, man, personally.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have no issues with it being in, like I said, anyone down south, you're listening. I have a price.
How far? Because you spent a non-trivial amount of time in Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I love Florida. I don't, like the hurricanes and stuff don't bother me. People are like, oh, but there's hurricanes. Yeah, we get a lot of advanced warning on that hurricane.
Oh, I'd much rather deal with a hurricane than an earthquake.
Oh, yeah, earthquake, you have no idea it's coming on. It's like, oh, you're done. You get maybe a couple minutes.
Well, and what a lot of people don't understand because they've never been in one is it really messes with your equilibrium. Like I get nauseous, not from the shaking, but from the harmonics disturbing my equilibrium. It's really disconcerting, man.
Yeah.
I don't care about the building falling on me. That doesn't scare me because you know what I mean? Because of building codes, it's not very common. But man, just even with the minor earthquakes that you can barely feel the shock, dude, it's really like
Yeah, I get it. So hurricanes, no problem. Because hey, you know well more than a week in advance, this thing might come this way.
Yeah. Right. And there's plenty of places to go north. You know what I mean? To get away for a week or whatever.
I would just go to Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine. I'll be fine in Orlando.
Dude, that's why when I put this office where it's at on the property, I'm not close to trees or not trees that are large enough to hurt it if they fall on it.
Yeah.
Dude, I just sat in here the whole time. I don't care. I got a little generator for myself.
Right. Right.
I don't have one for the house. I have a little one hooked up to the office.
Technology is important. You got to be able to communicate out. You have to know if the zombies are coming.
Well, what if it's raining so hard I'm trapped in here? I want to be able to do something. You notice I didn't say talk to the house.
I didn't hear that. I know. We all know that. We all know the truth there. It's true. But you gotta know when the zombies are coming, dude. You just gotta get yourself a nice katana.
Yeah. I had one. My brother took it.
And know how to use it.
Well, I never took Japanese fencing lessons, but I took drawing lessons. What's it called? Aikido or something like that? The drawing of the sword, just the training of drawing it out of the scabbard.
Yep.
Yeah. I used to do that.
Because that's the biggest aspect on them is the draw. As it's coming out, that is your first movement.
The first cut.
And typically, and if you were good enough, that was the only movement.
Right. Yeah, I did that a lot in undergrad, man. And it wasn't like authentic, original Japanese, several centuries old, but it was a decent reproduction. It held a good edge. And I went home to get it from Ohio one time. My brother ganked it.
Thieves.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do, man? No, I've thought about it, man, because I got like this nice view over a couple fields. So there's a huge amount of standoff distance. If a zombie horde came, man, I could see them coming a long ways away. Then it's just perfecting the camera facial recognition technology to pick that up.
Well, yeah, but you don't have anything yet to be able to protect yourself against those zombies. You're going to have to run. The good thing they don't run very fast.
Hey, man, my bikes are right here. My bikes are right here, dude. All my cycling gear's in here.
You get the missus and the daughter. What are they going to do?
I'll tell you what they're not going to do. They're not going to slow me down. Dude, they got a Jeep.
Eventually it runs out of gas. If the zombie apocalypse happens, there's no gas.
Oh, man.
Horrible.
Marsha's repeatedly said that she has no interest in trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. No interest, man.
A zombie.
Yeah, well, but see, so just in case our viewers think I'm being heartless and cold, it's not that I don't care about her. It's that she's made her wishes known. So if you have no interest in surviving, why would I? I mean, you won't even like carry bullets and food. So, hey, man.
That is hilarious. Oh man.
But I think people should try public speaking. Speak, especially like in our vertical. Go speak at little B-sides conferences. Go to little IEEE meetups.
People, it's very easy for people to like really start to be argumentative with those that are up there speaking. Right? That's easy. No one knows how it's not easy to get up there and present you to an audience.
Mm-hmm. Well, because if you're going to do it well, wouldn't you agree? It takes way more than just knowing what you're talking about. You have to know how to talk about what you're talking about.
You have to find the right tempo. You have to practice. You have to understand that you're going, your mind is constantly working. And you can get off on a tangent easily. And you have to be able to understand when you're getting on that tangent, because you've got maybe 45 minutes to present, maybe, depending on what you're doing. And you want to allow room for questions.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to say certain things, because if you say, okay, I'm happy to take questions, a lot of times you're not going to get a question, because people are also afraid to raise their hand and ask a question. And I love the people that their question is like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because they're going all and now this is what I have to. This is my question. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what your question is. You just went on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Because that was their time to speak.
That's right. That's exactly what it is, man. I was in a meeting this week, and a person in that meeting purported to try and answer does anybody have any ideas on how we might be able to address this type question, right? Which is a fair question for leadership to pose, to gather ideas and gather information from the group. In fact, I think that's a productive meeting. And this person started talking, and they started talking about nonsense. And of course, it was all related to them. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And in no way, shape, or form did it address the point on the table. And I was sitting there, and I'm pretty sure my body language, because I was coming in over Skype, I'm pretty sure my body language was communicating this, because I saw a couple of people reacting to it, was, how do you not realize that you should just shut up? Well, because it's all about you. You're going to take that 15 minutes where you can get it.
That's right. They will.
You Instagram hooker.
But they do. And that's just what that's because they make themselves feel better.
Yeah. But there's a salient point there throughout all the hyperbole, which is time management. That's a huge part of speaking, whether it's in a meeting to a group, me answering a question, just the two of us, whatever, right? If you're ignorant of the time you're taking up, you're monopolizing the situation. That's not productive.
Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I got a big speaking engagement coming up. I'll announce it maybe on Thursday or Sunday.
Okay.
Big IEEE event that's going to be on campus in December.
At
Capital. I don't care about
that's like 5 people. So awesome.
Well, Garima is, I think, the treasurer of the Baltimore IEEE chapter.
Oh, okay.
So she's the one that is putting on the event, so to speak, on behalf of IEEE, not on behalf of the school. So I think I'm going to do an hour, maybe 2 hours on synthetic intelligence.
I might just show up.
You should. Well, I got to talk to her, because what I really want to try and do is stream it somehow, even if it's just off my phone or my laptop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just want to show up, so that way because it's a non-Capital event at Capital, and just make some people nervous.
Well, hey, man.
Not you.
Oh, dude, you don't make me nervous anymore.
Maybe Garima, but no. But Garima is just in a fun way.
Yeah, I think
she still hasn't shown up on this show.
She wants to, man. And I was going to mention this too, because we got to start talking about our 100th episode because we're on 92.
Yeah.
Our friend Pete has been reaching out to me. I've been talking to him. And Pete Starlin, you goof.
Oh, that guy? I thought he was dead.
Oh, Jesus. Dan, I'm not an actor, Ford.
Yeah.
He wants to come on.
I wonder how his my son's doing with him.
Oh, Jesus, man.
That guy got so bad. Well, in a funny way in this case, when so you know he's going to be a father for the first time. He sends me a thing, and I'm like, dude, that looks an awful lot like me. He's like, stop stealing my lines. I'm like, I'm pretty sure everyone says this. It's not just your line.
I'm glad he's having a son, though, man.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good for him.
Yeah, I think it will be. Pete's a good guy. Yeah, he goes astray every once in a while.
Yeah, don't we all? Just to varying degrees.
What's that?
It's just to varying degrees.
Yeah.
Well, and I should say in different ways.
Sure. So, anyway, I got a jet, my friend.
Yeah, we're at the time limit, as it were.
Yep.
That's a good one, man. Everybody, practice public speaking. Go tell some stories. I'll tell you. The last thing I'll say, and I've been thinking about this for a couple of years. I may end up trying stand-up comedy. I may start going to an open mic at some point.
Why not? Hey, they've got a nice one up there in Ann Arbor. Come visit me.
Yeah, man. Why not? I don't want to change professions, but dude, why not do it as a hobby, as a goof? You know what I mean?
Why not? Sure.
All right, everybody. That's 92.
Peace.
Have a good one.
One another. See y'all on Thursday.
Bye.